good?
Yeah. Stop trying on the driveway. We're not amused.
Never let me have no fun.
I let you have fun all the time. He's trying to engage it on the driveway.
Well,
It's not even 7 o'clock in the morning. Don't stress us. Well, you picked school colors, so that's good.
yeah, well, that's actually why I picked the green, because
Right.
I could have wore the blue. And I said, well, it's a shame I don't have a gold tie or something.
I was thinking, huh? I'm like, why are you waiting?
Well, I was...
It's because it's thinking. It was making sure it was safe. You need to clean the windshield. That looks pretty bad. It's much better. The car didn't have a meltdown over you cleaning the windshield, so that's good.
Yeah, now the windshield will probably be... wipers will be on forever.
Let's hope not.
Yes.
That will ruin our whole trip downtown because of me and my suggestion.
Yeah, I haven't exactly figured out why that algorithm is so screwed up.
Or more correctly, why they can't fix it quicker.
Yeah, that too. Well, there's nobody behind us somewhere. Nobody behind us. Oh, wow, they got steel up. They got steel up.
Wow, that was fast. So they're going to throw the building up in half the time it took them to clear
yeah.
the lot.
Absolutely.
Nobody behind us.
Right, that's why I let her do that.
Yeah.
I let her do that.
Well, when you know it's going to happen, or it's likely to happen, and you're prepared, that's one thing. When it doesn't, you didn't have any clue.
Right.
Or there happens to be somebody following close.
There's still nobody behind us.
There's mulch. Somebody's been hauling mulch lately. That's not the first time it's been dropped on the ground.
Well, I got to tell you, so far
so good.
Well, I would say more than that. I basically think in the terms of if there was a human driver behind me, would they be getting apoplectic now? And the only thing she's done slightly a little different than human is to make that left turn there at Wagstaff. There was a car coming, and it was coming, and this car creeped forward.
Right.
That car crossing in front of us probably said, "Is that guy gonna move?"
Right. I thought that was a little odd too.
That was a
you
little...
wouldn't normally do that to the other driver. It's not quite.
That's right.
It's not a brake check. It's not really meant to spoof them. It's just sort of a...
Well, they certainly said, is that? But I would say, based on the way that she didn't do that assertive pull out, she did that like where the guy would, the driver probably said, "All right, guy, take a chill pill. He, like, don't be so big a hurry." But anyway,
yeah,
I think that was just...
Right, I agree. The other driver either thought she didn't see him and weren't a good driver, weren't paying attention, or they thought that you were impatient.
Right.
One of the two. Neither of them was a good thing.
Well, I'm going as far as to say, I think that, that, what's the guy's turn? Joe turn? No.
Chuck
turn. Had a lot to do with that.
Right.
And I would say, based on the amount of effort Tesla's put in there, this is sort of like the fish or cut bait point. If they're going to be able to do it without adding cameras.
Right.
I mean, that's basically the long and the short of it, is because you can't make 99% of the unprotected left turns correctly.
Right, I understand. Well, you can, but yeah, because that'd still be better than people, probably.
Well, I don't know. I think that means in 2 or 3 weeks you're going to have an accident.
Right, but Elon did really talk about safety at the earnings call again. Basically, everything that drives us is safety, and then there's all this other stuff that we want to do too. So after safety, I think he said it a couple times too. So if you thought that Elon was not...
Well, yeah, and he did absolutely. And the other thing he said was that we're just getting it right, and then we're going to worry about smoothing it out.
Incorrect turn signal going around the curve there. So that's not fixed in 11.4.1.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen her do that turn signal on 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst thing, but it does... It's a distraction for me as the driver, because I'm like, well, I'm not turning, so why is the turn signal on? And then it's also confusing to the person behind us because you don't turn. Wow,
she's getting a break today because the traffic is backing up.
Yeah.
And there's a tractor trailer behind us, so I don't think I have to worry about him diving underneath us to make a right turn. The problem is people get antsy. He's letting that truck out to boot, so she has all the time to get over here without worrying about people diving under her. Alright, she did fine. So she did 2 turn signals. She did 1 turn signal to get into the right turn lane, which is right, and then she turned it off, pulled forward up here, and then turned the turn signal on again because she's making a right turn. I was sitting in that left turn lane up there coming home from the dentist office, the eye doctor, and she was right on the edge of close enough or not, because it backed up a little bit. And so she'd turn on the turn signal, they'd blink 3 or 4 times and turn off, wait for 2 or 3 counts, turn on to it. So she was right on the edge. She wasn't quite close enough. So her algorithm kept saying, well, maybe I should turn the turn signal on. And says, why you got the silly turn signal on? And turned it off. And then he says, well, I think I should turn the turn signal. Well, here we go. It's clear. She goes. There she goes. Gosh, I can't go.
Well, she did that just fine.
Yeah, she did.
Other than she acted like a boss just one smidge more than I wanted going out there to look the second time. I was afraid she wasn't going to stop.
Yeah.
Which I know you would have stopped her if needed, but
So you getting enough air back there, Johnny? Oh, where's she going now?
She's changing your lane to follow your route for your right turn. She put you in the left lane.
Oh, 13 miles from Williams.
Yeah, 13 miles.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
That has got to stop. Well, like I said, it's navigation's been hurting my FSD experience. It's not been FSD. It's not interacting well with the navigation. I mean, we don't need to be getting in the left lane for a right-hand turn 13 miles away.
Right.
And I don't think I haven't noticed it doing it here before because, yeah, I know you're worried about your shirt this morning. Your pants.
About everything.
Yeah.
I'm out of practice of handling, of being dressed.
If I had $1 for every time you came into work with a drop of coffee.
Well, sweetheart, I only came into coffee every morning with coffee, driving the car for 30 years. So
yeah.
I was entitled every now and then.
Well, I didn't say it wouldn't happen to me too. I didn't used to drink coffee in the car like you. I had other issues. Yeah, she puts you in the left lane and it's not 45 yet. And of course, the people behind you want to do 50 through here. So
yeah, well, that's all right. I'm keeping up with the truck. And they aren't crawling up my butt. She's doing good. Now it's 50. Oh, she's back down to 35. She popped up to 45, then she went down to 35.
she couldn't see it because of the truck. That one speed limit sign over there, she couldn't see it. Yeah, I think, I honestly think before switching the speed limit in the car, I want it to read the actual sign. Great. But the car knows where the signs are because Google probably knows where the signs are. And if the sign is not seen by the car should know that, and then it should set it to whatever the database says.
Right.
Not do anything or not guess or whatever. And I understand that that's processing speed, but don't we have like a really super fast processor? So I think in the case where the sign is not visible due to a large vehicle, she ought to use the database figure, and she's not currently doing that as best as I can tell.
Well, I would say she got a little close to when the Honda pulled forward and stopped. She pulled forward and stopped closer. But not bad, but it was close enough that I was like, we need to stop here.
Right.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, because she still says it's 35, and she'll see the 55.
Right. Yeah, she did see the 55. Yeah, the cars consistently have a problem with seeing speed limit signs. Maybe in some other countries they're posted on both sides. So she wants you to apply force, and Dawn had to hit the accelerator there. She started to brake for the light, or
I have no idea.
Well, for whatever reason, you're good. You're still in cruise control. I don't know why she said cruise control would not brake, but she jingled, and usually she doesn't jingle for that. So I don't know. You have a history of having your foot on the accelerator a bit, and that's because the car brakes and you need to be ready. It is a little bit of a strain on the ankle and the leg to have the foot poised and ready to go, but all the time, but not actually touching the pedals.
Well, I don't know. It's not doing it. I want the fan on.
Well, you'll have to hit it up higher. I don't know. It says it's on high, which obviously. Communicate. You don't have remind, but the rest of us are reminded often.
Yeah, well, I remember you reading that it said parents were all wanted.
Yes. Yeah.
I got to tell you, she's keeping right up with traffic pretty well. He got over and took your spot, huh?
You could have followed him. You wanted to. You know you did. There was a brief little...
Yeah,
well, I noticed that the cars don't abide by the driver's ed rule of we shouldn't change lanes in the middle of the intersection. So I think they need to teach it. It's just, you're just not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
There's more moving objects at the intersection. It increases your chances of not changing lanes without incident. So Dawn's manually changing lanes now.
Well, she was going to wait, and this guy was going to catch up, so there was no getting over.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time she decided, oh, I think I should get over again, it would have been too late. And I was bragging on her that she was keeping up with traffic really well. Now she's slowly, she didn't like...
Well, it's because you're in the left lane and traffic's really booking.
Well, it was more of I got her over and she said, well, let me decide where I am and I'll think about it and then I'll speed up. That's what I think it was. I changed her parameters and she recalculated. Got over for naught because the truck made it through the light and we didn't.
You have to give some acceleration there.
Well, but there was a car in front of us.
Yeah, you got on. Oh, that's the wrong arm for your watch. For your fancy watch.
I don't have. Right, I've got a watch on, a regular watch, but I don't have my Pokemon watch. I'm sorry. It's just
going into downtown Raleigh where all the Pokestops are.
Well, I don't know. I thought she was going to take us over there Rock Quarry Road.
I can't tell. Nope, she's going on Wilmington.
Get her over so this other guy can go. Actually, I don't think the traffic's bad at all. I mean,
I've seen worse.
Well,
yeah, it's not too bad this morning.
Okay, you're gonna need to slow down, the car.
She will.
Oh.
You like to use those brake pads.
I'm not touching the shit.
I know, but I meant the car. You know, you like to use up your brake pads with FSD.
That's right.
Like we did with Ruby.
So we'll remind me when we get downtown, and it takes a minute or two after we park the car.
Uh-huh.
And it does the drive safe and save.
Oh, right.
And we should include that clip to see how many from the State Farm app, how many driving mistakes self-drive, because so far I haven't. She's done all the driving. I have not done anything. I've come close a couple times, but I actually didn't. Yeah, this would have been interesting to know if she wanted to actually make this right turn, if she would have got over in that lane like that guy's doing is going up.
Elon says 150 plus cruise ships and counting around the world are set to use Starlink, helping to make their passengers' travel experience. And I'm only seeing abbreviated tweet, but that's a pretty good number.
Right. Well, they resell the service to.
Yeah.
You don't get to hook to the Wi-Fi on the ship. When look, the last cruise I took, well, there was Wi-Fi. Even then, it was 2,000. It was horrendously expensive and slow because it went through the satellite. Yeah, somebody was talking about, I didn't actually read that tweet, but somebody was talking about Starlink must be great speeds in the middle of the ocean, because there's like there's so many satellites up there now, and they showed a picture, a simulation of the globe with all the little dots being lit up, and you've seen how many satellites they were, which dot mean equal one satellite, I assume. And the thing is, you can see how many of them were over the ocean, and Elon responded to the person's tweet of saying, hey, it must be great over the ocean, because one ship, one satellite, it must be fantastic service. And he said, yeah, very little of the earth is actually covered by populated, you know. Most of the earth is ocean.
Well, if people are on the cruise ship and they have an understanding that their experience is being powered by Starlink, that can only serve as a good advertising for Starlink.
Right.
Even if it doesn't work as good at home, they won't understand not all of them will understand the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, well, I think the business plan and the cruise ship plan, the pricing on that's pretty expensive. But I think what it is, it's priced based on what the competition's offering.
Sure.
It's probably half the price of what the same service that you could get from somebody else.
That makes sense.
She did all that really good. I didn't change the speed through there at all. We've caught back up with our truck.
Yeah, well, I always find in the morning that these people do these things to get farther on down the road, and it's a rare exception that we just don't trade back and forth from one light to the next.
Right. Well,
it doesn't really matter which lane you're in or anything, and the traffic seems to...
I guess what I was thinking is that truck was particularly slow before, but once he gets going, he gets up to speed.
Oh, you meant that truck, not the pickup truck.
Not the pickup. I'm talking about the 18 Class 8. You okay back there, bud? Yep.
And justifiably so.
Right, I wouldn't have tried to stop it.
lanes
Yes.
into faster lane. Well, that I'm sure that's true.
Well, she jumped over there. For sure. She got that GMC behind us and said, well, come on, Tesla, move on out. He's crawled up our butt.
I'm just going to close my eyes while you and her navigate these lanes up there to get over to Wilmington Street. Because I'd be in a panic attack right now in the left lane approaching this heavy traffic up here to have to get that far right.
Right.
I'm just going to let you and her handle. That mulch is very strong, that smell. Woo!
Fermented.
Fermented.
Or fermenting, I guess, is technically present tense. Future tense.
It don't smell good.
Well, that GMC let that van out. I was wondering what she was going to do, but we were nowhere near. I mean, he stopped short to let the van out, which was really kind of him, which I'm kind of glad because the GMC was crawling up, literally up the bumper. Like I said, I only worry about getting hit from the rear. The GMC went around the other guy. Oh boy, we're the first one, and the GMC is going to be right next to us. See who's going to out accelerate.
I'm pretending not to give him the time of day.
Well, I can't see the window. So tinted.
I could turn and look,
No,
but I'm
his
not.
window is.
Yeah, even if I turned, I wouldn't be able to see him.
Right, probably.
Assuming it's a him.
I would think so, but that's all right. You don't have to. Knowing Jules' pokiness, you'll get a good look.
Well, she won't. Yeah, I'm
well,
sure.
There's a van pulling a trailer behind us, so I think it's got a trailer behind us, so it's not gonna. The fact that we take off slow isn't going to be a big deal.
She's been doing better.
Yeah, that wasn't bad at all. Like I said, we've left the van in our dust.
Yeah, and actually the truck didn't do much to get over either.
And we're all going to just take a chill pill when she gets down here. I'm going to try to let her. We may have gone Oakwood. She may realize she can't get over. We'll see what she does. It's going to be a good test because she, kind of like what you were saying. I would be start looking for gaps to get over in the right lane, but she's oblivious to it at this point. So we'll see what she does. See, there's. Yeah. Well, we're gonna be fine, Johnny.
Yeah, we just
Now don't stop in the middle of the intersection, car. Fail.
Well, I probably would have done that there too, but.
Yeah, well, I probably would have.
Yeah, all the time she worries about getting over, and then when she really needs to be worried about getting over, she's not worried about it at all.
Oh, you human drivers. Well, that's what he said. The planning and control function is not a neural net yet. It's still using some more simplistic logic. It doesn't learn. I mean, what we're talking about is knowing this route, knowing that it's traffic, all these things we would learn that you don't wait till the last possible second to get over. I mean, some people do, but most people especially if you're trying to, I don't mean be courteous, but not being cut in front of them. Most people learn to get over earlier. Although I would tell you, it's not a bad idea to be in this lane, even up in this merge up here, because we as humans want to get over pretty quick, and at some level, to let the other humans merge into that lane, the ones who want to go to left to try on, let them drive around you, and then after you get through past try on, then get over.
Right, well that's what I do every morning, is let everybody else make the mad dash for that first stoplight to get in the lane they need to be in, and some of them need to move 3 lanes. And I just stay in my lane doing my thing. Well, that's an odd place for a bicycle helmet. Just thrown in the grass over there.
Well, it probably blew off the back of the...
Somebody had it tied on, you think, and it came loose.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad.
The paper had an article about riding bicycles in 15 different countries survey. A lot of places is very, like the Netherlands, is really close men to women. You know, it's almost 50-50. But the U.S. it's like 35% of the bicyclists are women and the other rest are men. And the other thing, the average age of the bicyclist in the U.S. is like 38 or 39. It's right at 40 years old. Whereas in other countries it's less, except for Japan. Alright, here we go. I'm getting close to... she's getting over.
She's getting over.
And she did okay.
That worked fine. That was fine. Oh, you're going to get lucky. There's nobody coming.
Well,
there's nobody there.
Right.
Jules, over. Follow that car, Jules. Follow that car.
The guy behind you is going to get
Follow
over.
that car.
Not going to do it. He's not going to do it. She's
Dang it, Jules. It was a mile over there, wide open. But after this guy goes past us, it'll actually be room again.
Yeah, well, the bubble of traffic is coming.
She doesn't understand, per what she's showing us in navigation, that she needs over one more lane.
Now she does, I think.
Now she does. She just changed the picture. She just now understands it. Okay, watching the Ram, making sure he wasn't coming our way. That happens more than you think. These people are over there and they're like, oh, I don't want to be over here, and poof, they're trying to come
Yeah, well,
left.
that's what he's getting over.
Yeah, I figured.
Alright.
Okay, phew.
Well, she thinks she's good. Well,
she is good.
Well, I know.
She does. She can go in this lane just fine. Now, just
No blinker.
I tend to signal.
blinker.
Well, she doesn't. Hey, you know, she put it on right as she made the turn. Honest, sweetheart, you've got to come back, put the turn signal on just a little. Now, remember, this is like the Indianapolis 500 here.
Yeah.
I guess never in the history of speeding has there ever been a cop on this particular stretch, because no one is worried about it at all. Cops can make some quick money over here. I don't know what it is about this particular thing that
Well, now the other day, you went. It took you
right 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so today we're actually going to go through downtown.
Yes. Past the bus station. Well, I don't know. She's going to turn you. No, right now she's taking you my route.
Yeah.
She's not even turning you right on Martin Luther King. She's
Right.
taking you down to Morgan Street, which is New Bern.
Yeah.
Exactly my route this morning. Yeah, if she doesn't change it to MLK before we get up there, I'll be surprised, but
doesn't know about this traffic light.
Right. She hesitates because this light is
Supposed to be there.
Yeah, she showed the lights as blue as we went underneath them versus a real train. She does figure it out, but it takes her an extra minute. Oh yeah, there's a 3 in front of us.
Yeah.
What in the world?
She still doesn't recognize Teslas. He's
What?
doing a U-turn. He's doing a U-turn because he couldn't get across at that traffic light back there. Now he's getting back into the traffic lane. He's not.
Well,
decided.
that's you're fine. It just says cruise control will not brake. You're gonna have to bump up the speed versus use your foot. Yes, because the speed limit changes to 35 there for like no reason.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing that can come on and off over here, and there's not generally people in it. People just.
That's where the official city limit is.
Yeah, I think that's what it is too. I agree.
Well,
I would say we've seen that plate before. I want to say that plate's not on the right Tesla. I've seen Watt Fun, but I don't know that I agree that that's the Tesla that it's been on, like maybe the family traded. You don't have to go through that round circle thing coming this way, so you actually have a chance of making it to right in front of the school turn.
Yeah.
Because it turns it over to you right there before the turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, before. Yes, it will make that.
It doesn't actually go onto the road.
It doesn't turn into the campus. It doesn't go down that campus driveway.
Okay.
Now she's
Trying to get over here.
Now I'm watching here.
That is the longest turn signal in the history of turns. Oh, what's she gonna do here?
Just letting her go. I went.
You gave her some acceleration, but she is still in control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the guy behind me was going apoplectic. He was being nice.
Well, I don't think the car did anything wrong. Just didn't do it as fast as human drivers would.
Right. Well, if this
potentially.
guy had have just whipped around me, I would have let her struggle. But that guy, he didn't know I was going to stop. He's like, well, there's enough room to get by. I mean, I totally understand. And it was this, I'm not faulting this car. This car did nothing wrong. This
They
Toyota.
just stayed in your blind spot.
They just, she, she used to always want to slow down to merge. Well, this
Right.
time she
just kept pace, and it
kept
just
pace.
didn't work well.
And he
Yeah.
did, yeah.
So that was not a disengagement, but Don did have to use his foot
To get her
to
unstuck.
get her unstuck, which the cars respond really well to.
There's a truck behind us. She doesn't do the bike lane correctly.
Well, that's how I do that intersection.
I don't know what she.
Yeah, that was way
Well,
too hesitant for
Well,
a green
especially,
light.
yeah, I was gonna say it was actually a green light.
Yeah, that would have been maybe okay for a turn on red, which is no longer allowed at that intersection, but
Yeah.
for a green light, she was really hesitant. I wonder what about that intersection caused her to have to think about it so hard.
Well, I would tell you, that planning and control function that Elon said is not a neural net.
Right.
That's what got it into. She knew she wanted to get over, but she didn't. I don't think she could see far enough. I mean, I saw the cones coming up way back, and she hadn't seen them. Oh, I just disengaged because I thought that car was over there. I thought she was going to mess up, and I thought that car was beside me. So that was actually me taking. I was concerned she was going to change lanes. That was really not a fail per se.
But it was a disengagement. She made you feel uncomfortable enough you had to take over.
Yeah. Because, well, that what
right,
happened?
that is a nasty turn there. The lane's too narrow and it turns in the middle of the intersection, and it always feels like even when you're driving, you're going to hit the car beside you. It's too close.
Right. Well, what happened? Right. Exactly. If you go, the way she was going into the intersection is she was going to be into that lane, the left lane, and then she would realize, oh, but by that time I was worried about the car next to me.
Yeah. She got herself over here earlier than Dawn and I get over.
Yeah.
We don't get over. Well, she took you into the other lane, but she checked to make sure there weren't any cars there.
Right. Except for the car comes zooming up. Didn't think I did a very good job.
Oh, well.
All right.
She's going to stop. The light's turning yellow. I was looking at the countdown timer, and this one, as soon as it hits 1-0, it's yellow, and then it's red. It's trying to catch you on the red light camera. It changes extra fast on purpose to try to catch you.
Yeah, it's a revenue generator.
Yeah, revenue generator. Somehow I managed to go through the light for 2 full years, 5 days a week, and not get a ticket. But oh, don't turn green, don't turn green.
Well, she'll see this.
She sees him though. She's showing him on the animation, but
Oh, wasn't that nice? That guy do that.
what'd he do?
Push the button.
Just for the heck of it?
Yep. Oh, like assholes come in all forms. No, there's nobody trying to make that same turn.
Bless you.
Thank you. Just shoot.
I don't have any.
I'm looking. Yeah, I got the tissue box. Had to think about it for a minute, Johnny, because we weren't in the right car. Weren't the usual car. Let me rephrase that. Well, Donnie, you had one disengagement coming downtown too. Me and you both. I'm just saying we're equal now.
Well, right. Well, my absolutely. I erred on the overcautious because I didn't look in the mirror to see if the car was there, and the car actually made a left turn, so there was no car there.
Right. It got out of the way.
It got out of the way, but had the car been there, then I would have done right because I would have gave him or her. Well, it depends. So we got honked at by the bus. I took over.
Took over.
I'm at this point.
After the bus honked at you. Well, it was going to end right here anyway, and we already quote unquote didn't make it. So.
And of course the bus, she'd only sit there for a second.
Yeah. Well, I think it was because she didn't expect you to stop, and she's worried she's going to hit you.
No. She didn't expect me to stop. She wasn't going to hit me.
Okay.
She actually was stopped when she honked the horn. She wanted me to go.
You should stop to talk this morning, even though it's open, because I don't know where we're allowed to park. We need a parking permit today, even though the girl knows the car.
She still doesn't know where potholes are.
No. No help for potholes. The street sweepers up here on the right, and that's why traffic's getting left and going slow and bunched up.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try to let her handle it. That Ford will go.
She was courteous there.
Wow, they wouldn't have known any difference.
Nope.
she did that well. I mean, maybe not quite as quick as a human would have handled it, but you know, she definitely somehow realized that car was going to do that. I have no idea why.
Well, we had heard that she was supposed to be paying attention to brake lights and turn signals and stuff. I don't know.
All right.
Now you're going. Now look.
We're gonna go.
Okay, so
let her turn.
So Ruby, excuse me.
Jules.
So Jules wants to turn left onto Judd Parkway up here, and the other day I came through on 11.4.1 in the afternoon, and she did not make it. And the reason why she didn't make it was because by the time she got up to the dotted white line, not this yellow line, the lane was full and she couldn't get over.
She's not gonna.
So she's not going to be able to. Oh, she braked and got over this time.
Yeah, she didn't.
But she will not cross the yellow line with the dot. And then what happens a lot there is that the lane is totally full. Now she needs to get over here. She's going to mess up. She should already be in the right lane. She needs to be in the right lane. This is not a through lane.
Yeah, well, I'm letting her handle it.
There's a car coming up on our right. Now she's totally missed out. She's got this. She does not seem here. She thinks she's turning left.
Mm-hmm.
She has actually put on the left turns. Now Dawn could signal right maybe and get her around this. She's
right
signaled left again, but she needs to get in the right lane. So this is a fail.
Yeah.
She does not seem to understand that this is a left turn only lane and not a through lane. So I suspect if she gets up here, well, it's red now. If she gets up here to it, she's going to try to go straight.
She's got her left turn signal on.
She got the left turn signal on, and she's trying to go to Main Street.
And she thinks she wants to turn here.
I guess she's turning here, but that ain't going to take us to Main Street. Be interesting to let her complete the turn and then see what she does.
Oh, now here she goes. She's realized.
No, she wants to go around this car in front of you. She's like,
that might be true.
She was. I'm sorry I wasn't showing the wheel. I should have seen the wheel there. That was
the wheel.
Absolute mess, complete mess.
There she goes again.
She's trying. Oh no, what did she do? But the thing of it is she's going to go around this car and try to turn left.
Nope.
Or go straight.
She finally realized she made her mistake.
Wow.
But there was nobody coming. I would have never let her do that, except for I was watching and there was nobody coming.
Wow. Did she ever put on the right turn lane when she went around, or was it still the left turn signal?
No, I think that was the left turn signal. You got it on video.
Yeah, I hope it shows up. It's a little dark right now, the bright light. But something about that intersection is she doesn't understand that the left lane is left only and the right lane is through. And even though she knows we were turning left onto Main Street in so much, not too far, she is confused there every time.
Well, she didn't show, she should show the two lanes.
Right, she didn't.
Right,
that's what I'm saying. I don't think she understood the intersection there. And that intersection has been like that for over a year.
Oh, yeah, it's 3 years.
Well, whenever they redid the intersection up at Main Street, didn't they redo that a little bit too?
That's the intersection. I've been going I have to do that silly U-turn all the time. You haven't been able to make a left turn out of Taekwondo since y'all been going. That's when they redid up anyway, a long time. More than 6 months. We're both agreeing more than a year. And it may have even been years at this point. We're a little confused, but right. We're not a little confused. You're a little confused.
No, it's just the years, they pass by quickly.
That's correct. That I agree with.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to pull that. Even if we don't show the whole ride home, we're going to need to show that.
Yeah.
You just pull the whole ride home and I'll decide.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, she's still not disengaged, but although I would have to tell you that was
a total and complete failure back there.
I would have accepted her making the left turn.
Right, because she could have just figured
out. She
just would have recalculated and figured out she screwed up, and that's okay.
Look, I have no problem with her taking a peek in the right lane, but once she messed up and realized, because she tried to get out of the right lane before. Out of the left lane.
Yeah, and I was going to say, to be clear, we could have put on the right turn signal after we left onto that road, and she would have gotten over, and I think it would have been okay.
Yeah,
but you would have had to have fixed her mess up. You would have had to have not a disengagement, but still more intervention than.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I think it's all fair when you're out on the highway to decide you want to pass a car or move left or move right. But you're still on the highway and she's navigating it, and you just give that import because as a user you want to do that. I don't consider that a disengagement. But when you're
nobody behind us.
But when you're putting on the turn signal to get her out of a she's totally confused thing, then that's really that's really you were engaged with the car beyond the I'd like to move a lane over on this straight through thoroughfare interstate that we're on. Yeah. That was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. No, I would say again, there were cars behind us, but for some reason there was nobody in the right lane, which is, in that intersection, is mind-boggling.
Because it seems like almost all cars go straight. Why would you come down left even to turn on Old Honeycutt?
That's right.
You headed to the Popo? You going to the police station? I don't know.
Come on, car.
Well,
she went.
Did you give acceleration?
No, I was done.
She decided,
she
huh?
Finally, she recalculated and went. I guess maybe she got a couple samples of that car and saw how fast it was moving. I don't know. She actually may get home now. She's only got this really bad turn up here. I mean this. But she's also very fortunate that for whatever reason, there haven't been a lot of people behind us, so I've been letting her struggle without touching the accelerator. I've not touched the accelerator in this trip either.
Wow, that's saying something.
And she got a little wide on that yellow line.
Yeah, I still fail to be happy with how she comes around that corner back there. She either needs to understand she needs to tuck it tighter, or she needs to slow up another 5 miles an hour on that curve, because I don't care if there's a car there or not. I don't want her going over the line thinking that that's okay.
She didn't. I don't know that she saw those guys. I saw them, but I was looking at them and watching. I didn't look at
me either.
Here to see if she actually showed the Ballard. So.
I was too busy seeing them down in the hole, how big the hole was, that they were actually working that spot. They've left that huge hole over there for forever now. In my opinion, if you're going to dig a huge hole that butts right up to the lane, you need to do what you need to do and close it back up, not leave it open like that for a month. But they didn't ask me.
No, they didn't.
But it seemed dangerous to me that a car could accidentally lose itself down over there, which that too close to the lane of traffic to be left open for an extended period of time.
Yeah, well, it's been that way for ever how many months they've done it.
Yeah, over a month. Here we are. We can't remember.
6 months.
It hasn't been 6 months.
It has been.
It has not.
It has.
You're wrong on this one. I'm sorry. I accept you're right about the other thing, but I'm not on this one because the church hasn't even been under construction for 6 months. And they didn't do the road anywhere near the beginning of the church construction. I stand firm and by
What's today's date?
Do I need to go back on
That's
video?
What I'm saying.
You go back. It's hard looking back on the video. You go back, and I don't film it every day. And
guess what?
Right, we're home, and we made it. Really?
No disengagement.
No disengagement.
Autopilot navigation complete.
Yeah.